All right, lovely trip to Corvallis, Oregon from Beaverton, Oregon. Now, let's go for a ride. Compress speed once I get on the road and get moving. It's a lovely drive this morning. Very cold. Just about freezing, at least here local. So, there's my possible ice warning. Yay. Well, we're going to get up here just outside of my neighborhood, get through this roundabout, and we'll put this thing on fast speed. Go. Lovely little turnabout. Sherwood. We're out here in the lovely countryside, Sherwood, Oregon. We're not actually going to go through the city of Sherwood. We're going to kind of skirt around it and head on west to Newburgh. Yay! Just checking in, seeing what's going on. There we go. Back to Super Zoom. Approaching Sherwood at 99W, 99 West. You can see the chemical stripes on the road. That's de-icer for below freezing this morning. And I've noticed that I've got to reroute my trip because there's a bypass I take from Newburgh to bypass the little town of Dundee, and there's been a big accident there. That whole bypass is closed off, so I've got to go right through the city of Newburgh and Dundee as opposed to bypassing. That's okay. We'll do that today. We can do that. This is Sherwood High School. We're passing right here on the right. Brand new high school. Another lovely roundabout. This is new also. Roundabouts aren't typical here in Oregon, and this guy in front of me doesn't know how the fuck to drive a roundabout. Pretty rotten. Take up all those lanes. So here we are approaching 99W. Take a right here, I'll be headed west. If I take a left, well, we can go east to Portland. We're going to go west. We're going west. Go west, young man. Go, Kia, go! Go, baby, go! Alright, I'm going to put us back on fast forward until we get into Newburgh. Talk to you guys in a moment. Welcome to Newburgh. Normally I would take a bypass over here on the left, but I know there's an accident up over there on that bypass and I don't want to get hung up. So we're going to go right straight through Newburgh and Dundee. Now this is where I went to high school, at least my last year of high school here in Newburgh. It's really not a real remarkable town. It is a very old town in Oregon. Probably the most remarkable thing has occurred in the last 20 years here, and that is the wine industry. We've got perfect growing conditions here for grapes. Newburgh and Dundee have become synonymous with wine production in Oregon. It's absolutely amazing, actually. We've got some world-renowned, reward-winning wine coming out of Dundee and Newburgh here up in the hills. Beautiful, lovely wineries. I'm not a wine drinker, but I'll tell you what, it's an interesting factoid for Oregon here in the Pacific Northwest. It wasn't a big thing until, like I said, about 20 years ago, people figured out that we've got good acidic soil, which is great for grapes, and we've got some fantastic hills facing the sun at the proper angle, so it's an amazing thing. Is typical strip town in Oregon, probably like the towns everywhere else in the world. You have a 2-lane highway running through it, a bunch of businesses off of it, the residents off on the sides. Pretty typical layout for Oregon town. And it's been a while since I've been through the downtown core of Newburgh because as I say, I typically bypass it with highway bypass, but that thing looks like it's all screwed up. Early Saturday morning still, it's only 8:15, so the traffic won't be too bad. And the reason I bypassed Dundee is because it's a winery center. I mean, so there's multiple vineyards that do have tasting rooms, etc., and it just gets clogged up with tourist traffic. So this is why I'm always taking the bypass to get around Dundee, but not today. Today we're right straight through. It's been a while since I've been through here too, so see if I can recollect my navigation through Newburgh, Oregon. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, I moved to this town up in the hills actually with my mom and dad, 35 acres of land. We built a house up there, and I did my first 3 years of high school at Westland High School, and then we moved out here, and I had to do my last year of high school here, and I did not like it. This was a whole different scene for me coming out of the city town that I have fond memories of. Which is why I just drive through it. Or bypass it at all costs. Zoom, zoom. That's nice, right on through Newburgh. Just like that, if you blink, you miss it. Alright, so we got a short little jog on into Dundee. Guys on Zoom mode again. I'll be, catch up with you in a moment when we... Alright, here we are in the wonderful little town of Dundee. Dundee, Oregon. Tiny little town. Little tourist place. Ooh, right now I'm smelling skunk. Somebody ran over a skunk. Ooh, either that or we got a grow off going here. I think it's a skunk. It ain't skunk weed I'm smelling, that's a skunk. Oh, skunky. Man, I gotta be careful, the temp is cold. Still got a possibility of ice. Bumping on through little old Dundee here. Tiny, tiny little town. And I can't believe how packed this thing gets with wine tasting events and vineyard events. And it's just turned into this little gentrified town, I guess. Boy, this guy in front of me is all messed up, man. He's like driving really goofy. That's why I let him pass me back there. On swerving into the center. Don't know if the fucker's drunk or in a hurry. Whatever. Yeah, there he goes again. Right back into the center lane. So this overpass that we're about to cross under, this is the bypass that I would normally take. Ways as it closed. I'm not sure what's happened. I think the accident was right here where it merges back with 99. So there's the bypass in any case. Yeah, I see some flashy lights. Oh man, am I glad I looked at the traffic apps this morning before I took off. Because I'd have been stuck. I'd have been stuck on that bypass with no way out. Oh, it looks like somebody spilled something. Yep, she's closed. An old accident. Alright, well, technology right there will do it for you. Alright, now essentially we're headed west towards the Oregon coast right now on Highway 22, and I will be getting off of 22 here after we get past the Hillsborough Airport and headed south on Highway 99. So, we'll put you guys back on fast speed, and I'll talk to you again in a little bit. Alright, we're approaching the bypass for McMinnville. McMinnville, another Oregon town. Rural, spread out, flatlanders we call them. This is the agricultural section of the Willamette Valley. And yet another bypass to get around all of the traffic lights and all the bustle of it's a fairly big city, McMinnville is. So yeah, there we go. We'll take the Dayton Oregon Coast bypass up here. And this bypass takes us right past the Evergreen Air Museum, guys. This is where the what is it, the goose? The big old goose is parked. We've got several other jets and such on display here. It's quite the attraction. I've never been to it. I live here and I've never been to it. I've driven past it 1,000 times, and you guys are going to see a bit of it anyway from a distance. So this is our bypass to get around the city of McMinnville. And when we get up here to the Evergreen Air Museum, I will put us back on the regular speed, and you guys can take a look at some of the displays you can see from the road. I'll give you in a moment. Come into Airport Row. This is the outskirts of McMinnville. And we're coming up on the Air Museum here pretty quick. Just leave her in real-time mode until we get there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it quite from this angle. Probably not. The Air Museum is over here on our right side. Just see a big old 747 out there sitting in the field. There's a couple other jets out there. Really big building. I don't have the ability to turn my camera to look. We've got a building with a jet on top of it over there. And again, the goose, what is it? The great goose? The great, I forget what they call it. It's over here in this very large building on my right. Very cool. Very cool. Never been there. I'm gonna have to go there. So this is the basically the flat Willamette Valley. It's just you can see the hills up in front of us. Essentially the divider between the Anthill Valley and the Willamette Valleys. Currently in the Willamette Valley, the breadbasket of Oregon. So again, running the bypass to get around McMinnville, so I don't have to deal with the traffic there, although it's Saturday morning, it won't be too bad today. Average speed limit in Oregon is typically 55 on rural highways like 99 and 65 on our freeways. But nobody does the speed limit. Everybody, I mean everybody speeds, with the exception of snow tops and even some of those gals speed. So nobody really pays attention. There's not enough law enforcement to for people to be invested in doing the speed limit. Me, I try to do the speed limit, although when I get out in the Willamette Valley, I'll crank it up when there's nobody around. The Kia does pretty good. It's about 75. It feels good. Alrighty. That is the bypass around McMinnville. Nothing special to see at all. Now we're going to join up with Highway 99 here in a little bit. I'll put you back in fast speed and see you guys in a few moments. Alright, here's my exit. Corvallis, McMinnville. I'm headed south. I got snow in the foothills. Woohoo! So this is my alternative route. I don't like doing Interstate 5. It's the, oh God, it's very stressful. Interstate 5 is very stressful drive. A lot of traffic, just spam take 99W. It's a rural, agricultural, 2-lane highway. It's not too bad. We have some fun with it. Not the hectic pace of the interstate. Alright, that's it. We're headed south now, due south. We've got a long road ahead of us. So I'm going to put you guys back in fast mode. I'll drop it off as we bring it to real speed as we come into the small towns that are worthy of speaking of. And yeah, we're going to continue this adventure on the way to see my mom in Corvallis Saturday morning. Lovely. Talk to you guys in a moment. Okay, here we come into a little tiny town. No, maybe not. No, we're not quite there yet. Well, it is a town. It's Whitson. You just can't see it. It's very tiny. Oh, look, there's a Bigfoot Sasquatch mural. Ah, we're in Sasquatch country, everybody. Oh, yeah. All right, Whitson. Whitson or Whiteson, I don't know, whatever. That was Whitson. All right. See. All right, 40 miles to go to Corvallis. Now we're entering our first little tiny podunk town. Bring us down from 55 to 40, eventually down to 35. Welcome to Amity, Oregon. Amity. Not the Amityville Horror. Amityville, Oregon. No, it's Amity, Oregon. Tiny little town. Farming community, as you can see. Don't blink. Ooh, look at that Ford Falcon right there. Ooh, that might be worth restoring. Yeah, here we are. Tiny little town. Don't even blink. I would love to live in a town like this, though. You kidding me? Where you know everybody. You know the owner of the local store. Of course, you don't have any major grocery stores. I think we got some, basic restaurants and fast food joints and liquor stores, and of course, marijuana dispensaries. Yeah, of course, they're everywhere in Oregon. Well, we were having lovely weather. It looks like it's beginning to cloud up on us, as you can see. And we're going to have one hell of a shot of rain coming at us over the next several days, beginning tonight. They're calling it the atmospheric river again. Potentially a total of up to 4 inches here in the Portland metro area by the time we hit Friday next week. It's good, though. We're behind. We need rain badly. All right, Amity, there you go. Quaint little town, not a whole bunch to it. And like most of these little towns, you're in them and you're out of them before you know it. And then you're right back out in the country. And that's what we're doing right now. Goodbye, Amity. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put this on sped up mode again, and I will catch up with you guys in a little bit at the next town we hit. Bye. Season in Oregon, so we got a lot of farmers out here doing their burn piles. We have restrictions on brush pile burning, obviously, during the summer months, so that we're not adding to potential rural fire hazards. That's what I see going on in front of us right here. We got us a lovely big old brush pile burning. Beautiful country out here. Beautiful country. The Willamette Valley. It is just freaking gorgeous out here. About as rural as you can get. Got the Coast Range on our right and the Cascades on my left. Beautiful. Beautiful. See the snow up in the peaks of the Coast Range. Very nice. All right, back to it. Oh, that was a lovely little run. Beautiful morning out here. Beautiful morning. Coming into our next lovely little town out here in the Willamette Valley. Monmouth. Monmouth. It's an interesting name. Monmouth. This is Highway 223. Goes to Salem. Are in Monmouth. No, I'm wrong. Rickreall. Oh, I got that wrong. Rickreall. Excuse me. I don't even know my own damn towns in Oregon. Yet another little don't blink if you don't want to miss the town. If you blink, you miss the town. Rickreall. One traffic light in Rickreall. And you can see what we sell in Rickreall. Kubota tractors and chainsaws and feed. Supplies. There you go. Alright. Crossing over Rickreall Creek. And again, 99 continues. Corvallis, what do we got? 26 miles to Corvallis. Woohoo! Grain towers, RV sales, abandoned buildings. Polk County Museum. All right, I'll catch up with you guys in just a little bit. Now we're coming into Monmouth, Oregon. Another one-light town. I will tell you, we better do the speed limit in these one-light towns. These lovely little city police departments need to fill up their coffers with tickets. To these little towns, you better do it at the right speed. Another little tiny one light town. This is an actually really pretty town. Very cute town. And it's not too far away from Salem. About probably 30 minutes east. Hey, you know what? You're a big town if you got a Dutch bro in your town. Right? If you got a Dutch brothers in your town, you're big. Big town. You matter. So driving 99W can be quite fun, but it can also be a pain in the ass, especially during the summertime because we get big farming equipment out on the roads. Yeah, they don't pull over, and sometimes you can get lines that are miles long behind these combines and large plow rigs and harrowing rigs. But you know what? When you come down south and you're running 99, you're not in a hurry. You're cruising, taking it easy, taking in the sights. A little less hectic pace than driving on the interstate. I-5 is just a bloody nightmare up here in Oregon. Bloody nightmare. The road is in pretty bad condition in many places. People they do about 80 average, and the speed limit is actually 65 in between cities. People do about 80 average. Okay. Looks like we're going to be hung up behind some slow traffic here for a while, so it's just time to settle in and be patient. I want to go ahead and put it back on speed up mode, and I'll talk to you guys in a little. Just gorgeous out here. Every time I drive this, I am calmed. My soul is soothed. Such a wonderful drive down 99. During the grow season, when they've got the wheat, clover, and all the greenery in the fields, and the odors from all down, oh, it's amazing. The hay season, when they're doing harvesting, oh, such a beautiful place. Gorgeous. We're probably about, I don't know, maybe 15 miles out of Corvallis at this point. Bumping along. Headed due south, 9-10 a.m. in the morning, going to see my mama. Yeah. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in a few moments when we reach Corvallis. Alright, here we are in the outskirts of Corvallis, Oregon. About midway down the length of the state, north and south. Right smack dab in the middle of the Willamette Valley. College town. The beavers. The only reason I obviously ever come down here is my mom moved down here, oh gosh, it's been 6 years now, 7 years ago, from my region, from my location. And my sister lives down here as well. Of course, my daughter went to college here. My sister's daughters have all gone to college here. My mom opted to, after my father had passed, and she opted to move down here and get away from the bigger property that we had, and make things a little easier on her. And yeah, so here we are in the wonderful town of Corvallis. Still on the outskirts. We haven't actually got to the downtown core yet. We'll be getting there shortly. Not a bad morning. 9:21. It's about 95 miles down here from my house. So it's, you know, it's about an hour and 45-minute run, 2 hours if there's traffic. Not too bad on a Saturday typically, which is a good thing. We like that. This GoPro filming works out okay once I sort of figure out what the best method is to do this. I think I'd like to take some more trips around Oregon and video it, share with you guys. Alright, here we go into the downtown core of Corvallis, dropping from 40 to 25. Pay attention now. I want to get a ticket this morning. College town, very much so. I believe it was Corvallis was established in the early 1900s. Might have even been the late 1800s. It's one of the old pioneer towns, certainly. The architecture of the houses reflect that. Oh, there's another Dutch bro. We're probably about 10 minutes out from my mom's care facility. Lovely drive this morning. See if we can catch the timing on these lights. There we go. Old Town Corvallis, or downtown Corvallis, I should say. No, it's Old Town too. Very typical American city. So our next town is going to be Willamette, Oregon. Willamette is right at the base of the Coast Range, on the eastern flanks of the Coast Range, which literally, at my mom's care facility, puts me about an hour from Newport, Oregon. So if I were to head directly west from her facility, I'd be in Newport and on the Pacific Ocean within an hour, or even less if I decided to drive quickly. Beautiful location, really, the Willamette Valley. I mean, we're smack between the Cascades and the Pacific Ocean. Mountain ranges on either side of the Willamette Valley. Recreation everywhere. The Columbia Gorge, of course, represents a huge amount of recreation and commerce, of course. Alright, here we go. Peeling off here towards the Oregon coast and Willamette. Briefly heading west. Universities over here on my right hand side. I should say Oregon State College is on my right side over here. Home to the Beavers. Beavertown. You can see some snow up in the Coast Range. Winter is still here. We're not done with it yet. I think we're done with the low 20-degree weather. We're entering March, where typically we don't get much cold weather, or at least overnight cold weather. It's just the angle of the sun is increased. We're just not getting the cooling that we would be getting during January, February. So, that said, spring is going to take a while to get here, and it's going to be a wet one, which means that I've got to be patient and wait for soil to warm up and get to a pliable state. Speaking of gardens. This is going to be a hard visit with my mom. I've not seen her now for about 6-7 weeks due to COVID restrictions, both from her facility as well as me getting sick. And of course, I didn't want to introduce that to her facility, but you know, it had already got introduced. Wasn't me. It was other folks. So she's been on COVID restriction for some time, as I have been. But they've lifted her COVID restrictions, and she seems to be free and clear. She's tested negative, as I have. So this is going to be a short visit because I know that she's not going to know who I am, and she's going to be really tired. I love her dearly, and I have to see her, though I think this is more for me than it is her, although I'm praying that there'll be some recognition from her that I'm her son. That would be good, but honestly, I don't anticipate that. I think that the dementia, Alzheimer's has done its job. It has taken away most of her cognitive ability, at least from the outward appearances. So again, this is more for my soul. It's been 7 weeks since I've seen her, and I've got to see her again before she passes. That's what this is about. So hard. I wish she was a little closer to me, but I'm thankful that she's close to my sister. My sister lives only about 3 minutes away from her facility, so of course I'm 2 hours away, which makes things more challenging for me. But you know, I'm grateful that we found a vacancy in this facility. It's a relatively new facility, and so far so good. I mean, all of these care facilities are not perfect. They're just not perfect. It's staff shortages, and it is what it is. So far, though, I think that she's being treated properly. So we're about ready to roll up in there into her facility. Little tiny town of Willamette. You can see the Coast Range up ahead of us, looming in the distance. And I'm so tempted just to, pull out of her facility and just right straight to the Coast Range. I'm so tempted. It's right there in front of me. Just off to the Coast Range we go. It's right there. Can we just do that? All right, this is her facility on the right. It's a lovely little place. New. But nonetheless, it is a 24/7 memory care facility. Checking to see if my sister's here. She might be here. I don't see her car. Yeah, I don't think she's here. And that concludes the southward journey to my mom's facility, and here we are. Appreciate you guys watching the video.